Hey everyone, I'm Kel and welcome to a brand new series that I'm going to call Card Game Spotlight. This is a series where I look at new and exciting card games that I think are cool, or I think that you will think are cool. Sometimes they're going to be kind of like this, just kind of showing you a screen capture, and sometimes they're going to be in person. I prefer in person, but this one, as you can see, is a Kickstarter. It is not yet made. The game I'm talking about today is Ambal Tournament Foundation. This is an expandable card game featuring simultaneous rounds and unique skills. I really dig the art style here. It's got like this Guild Wars 2 kind of vibe. As you can see at the time of the recording, this has 28 days to go. This popped up just a couple days ago on Kickstarter, though I've known about it for quite some time. It's a pretty humble goal of only a little bit less than 17,000, which isn't too bad. I've seen a lot of card games try to push like 100,000 and stuff like that. So this goal is pretty manageable, though it only has, close to 2,000 right here. It's got a lot of ways to go. I myself have actually already pledged to this, as you'll see as we scroll down. And let's just start talking about the game. I think this is actually really, really cool. As you can see here, this is kind of what the game looks like. You can kind of get a glimpse of the cards. I think it looks really sweet. There are no like minions or creatures or like little units to attack with. You're basically just playing abilities and spells and attacks and all that kind of stuff, and you and your opponent both do that at the same time. So if you play Flesh and Blood, it's somewhat similar to Flesh and Blood in the fact that you don't have minions, you just play the cards. Currently, as you can see, there are like 4 different types of cards. I think it's like fire, water, I think it's like sword or warrior or something like that, and then assassination. We'll get to it when we go down below a little bit. 2 to 4 players. I think it's like 2 or 4 players is more accurate. You can play like against an opponent or like a 2v2 kind of deal. Rounds are 20 to 30 minutes. And yeah, let's just keep scrolling down here and show a little bit what else they have. Oh, here you can kind of see how the game plays out. Like I said, you play cards both at the same time. Looks like you're playing like face down and you flip them up and then effects happen. I should also note that this card game is not a trading card game or collectible card game. It's an expandable card game, which means you basically just buy it and you get all the cards. Here it says Foundation is the first set containing 100 cards. So you just buy it and you get all the cards. I will show you the tiers here. You can kind of see that I have pledged about 56 bucks. Yeah, 56 bucks for 2 copies of it, just so I can kind of mix and match, and I have reasons for that. I'll talk about that in a little bit as well. But like just the base version is only like 30 bucks. Yeah, just 30 bucks. It's like the price of a board game, You just buy it and you just get all the cards. You don't have to buy booster packs. You don't have to buy a box. You don't have to like gamble on random stuff. You just buy it and you get it. And the shipping prices are like pretty good too. I think for shipping, for mine, I'm getting basically 2 of them, and I think it's like 60 bucks is what I'm ended up paying, like total. I don't know. It's actually quite good. I think the monetization here is very, very good, especially if you're not into like the pay to win aspects or the random aspects that card games have. So let's see. It looks like it's water, fire, sword, and assassination, and you can kind of see each one has a very distinctive color, very distinctive art style. I think it's very, very cool, like I've already mentioned. Looks like each set comes with 25 of each, so 21 common cards and 24 elite water magic cards. I think you can only have 1 elite of a particular type in your deck. I think that's kind of how it works. So you kind of have to pick and choose how it goes. This game is a little bit more about like deck construction rather than like card collecting. Comes with all those cards, comes with some energy boards, markers, tokens, dice, all that kind of stuff. Obviously it comes with like a rule book. This is pretty interesting. It says there are no duplicate cards in one box. Each and every skill has a unique mechanics and a unique art. And I did look at deck construction. You cannot have more than 1 card in your deck, or you cannot have more than 1 of any given card in your deck. So basically there's no point in having duplicates unless you're going to do what I'm doing and you want to be able to have like really good 2-player games. So you want to be able to have your opponent be able to play with like the fire cards if they want to play the fire cards. So you do need, 2 copies for that, 1 for yourself and 1 for your opponent. I do also know that you can only have 2 of any skill type in your deck. So you can only have like water and sword, for example. You can't have like sword, fire, and water. You have to pick at 2 of them. Yeah. Which is why I thought it was good to have like 2 copies of it. So like I said, if I wanted to do a water fire deck and my opponent wanted to do a water sword deck, we could still do that and not have to like fight over the cards. So I do think it could be cool to like do like a drafting kind of thing where you kind of like, you pick a color, you pick like a type, and then your opponent picks a type, and then, you know, so on and so forth. I think that could be really, really cool. But I digress. Let's see, tournament rules. Not really gonna go into this too much. I do like how the rounds are simultaneous, like players draw cards and play cards at the same time. I think that's really cool. Since both people are playing at the same time, it highly discourages, you know, people taking out their phones and piddling around. Here's a breakdown of how the game works. Round order, draw phase. Each player draws until they have 7 cards. There is no decking mechanic. If a deck runs out, you shuffle the discard pile into a new deck, and you lose some of your max energy. At the start of the round, trigger effects start a round. I'm not going to go into this too much. You can definitely check out their Kickstarter here. It's just Ambal Tournament. You can just look it up and find it here. In fact, I have a little video. I'm not going to play the video in my video, but I have a little video here that kind of goes into that. I'm just kind of giving you like a quick look at it. And if you're into it, then you should just definitely check it out. I do think it's pretty cool though. I think this game could be really good as an in-between game where you kind of bust this out, you know, in between like D&D sessions or when you're taking a break, or if you have another card game in between commander games or something like that, because this is like, you know, a 20-minute game. Your opponent doesn't really need to have any cards if you have them all with you, and it kind of can function like a board game, which I think is actually really, really sweet. And it's a board game that other card game players can, you know, pick up and like and enjoy and that kind of stuff. Here's kind of like the breakdowns of a card. There's like energy cost, skill name, skill type, a boon. You could probably do some sort of buff effect. Yeah, your skills that target a bleeding player can't be evaded and cost 1 less energy. Shark flare. Yeah, you get some old shark whippy tail action. Duration effects, burning, bleeding, poison. Here they mention that each skill is unique. Only 1 per box. Here's the deck construction and building, which again I think is actually really, really cool. There's different kinds. So there's like a single 1v1 duel, a double duel like I mentioned before. There's also regular mode and advanced mode, and here's kind of the breakdown. Regular mode is a little bit easier. You only have 1 deck, which is a battle deck. No deck building during the game. Lose 2 max energy when shuffling discard pile into the fresh deck. Battle deck can start with an elite skill. In advanced mode is a little bit trickier. You have 2 decks, a battle deck and a library. Deck building during the game. Pay 1 max energy to shuffle up to 3 cards from your library deck into your battle deck. So you can kind of like enhance your deck as you go. Lose 1 max energy when shuffling discard pile into the fresh battle deck. Battle deck does not start with an elite skill, so you'd have to have your elite skill in your library and kind of hopefully get it into your deck, which is pretty cool. It says the advanced mode mixes deck construction and deck building, which I think is also pretty cool. Once again, I really like the cool artwork they have here. It's very, I don't know how to describe it. It's very like ethereal. It's very different, and I really like different because there's so many games out there right now, and something that stands out like this that you can just have a fun time with, I think really stands out here. Schools of knowledge. This is where they talk about some of the different schools: fire, water, sword, assassination. I did hear that he wants to do some like more sets in the future because this is an expandable card game, so you basically would buy like expansion packs, kind of like a living card game kind of deal, where he would add like more schools, so maybe like air or earth or lightning path, or like a, I don't know, hammer path or something. I don't know, you know, something like that. Fire magic. Yeah, look at that art. It's super cool. It really reminds me of, I mean, I did say Guild Wars 2, but it also reminds me a little bit of like the Scary Stories style artwork a little bit. I don't know, it's just very cool. This knight here kind of looks like a knight from like a Souls game. This is just a alien. This is an alien demon monster, like using this frog to get its poison juices all over this dagger. Also, if you wanted to, you can, download a rules PDF, get a list of skills, all that kind of stuff. And here's some reviews by some people. And wait, was that one? Yeah, TCG Scrubs, friend of the channel, TCG Scrubs. He did Colin, I believe, did an interview with the gentleman who is making Ambal Tournament, and I think it went pretty well. So check that out if that seems of interest to you. This dude likes it. Yo, thumbs up. So here is the project timeline estimation starting from April 30th. I am recording this on May 1st. So this is a 4-week Kickstarter with art development and pre-production 16 to 18 weeks afterwards, mass production 8 to 10 weeks, and then shipping within 10 to 12 weeks. So it's a kind of a conservative estimate, so you can kind of get, you know, your breakdown here of how long it would take for everything to get done and to get out here. So it'll be a little while, but you know, it's Kickstarter. That's how things go. You gotta wait for the things to be produced. Shipping, yeah, it's not too bad. You know, international shipping for $8. This is like a really good deal. Well, if you live in the US, if you're in Canada, it's pretty rough, honestly. Most of the other ones are pretty cool, or pretty similar. So like EU, Australia, New Zealand, Asia, they're all about the same. If you're in China, Macau, or Hong Kong, that's pretty good. Pretty good shipping. I mean, it's shipping from Japan, I believe, so that's not too bad. Though I don't really know where this is being manufactured. I know it's from Japan, or the person making it is from Japan, but I do not know what. I do not know where it's actually being manufactured. And they have some stretch goals here, which I think are pretty cool. Pretty cool stretch goals that if you're a card game enthusiast, stretch goals that you'd like. So like card stock upgrades, token upgrades. I think these are, you know, really useful things that are better than just like, you know, extra random stat like a sticker or whatever. I do like tangible upgrades like these. Get some nice little animation on this bursting knight shoulder thing here. And then here they also talk about the art, and like I said, I really like the art style here. It's just so unique. It's super like whimsical and has like this, I don't know, like this sense of wonder and this very like painterly feeling to it that a lot of card games don't really have anymore. Looks like Vincent Van Hoof is the name of the artist. I think he's doing like all of the art, which is really cool. Kind of reminds me of old school like Wyvern, how like one dude did all of the art for that game. So it makes like the whole game feel very, I don't know, like congruous. It makes it feel like very, you know what I'm saying? Like it ties everything together. Yo, that art looks really sweet. Like, yeah, I'm really digging this. And then here's some like lore if you want to like read into the lore. Tenko mid shapeshift chasing a wounded Yoro. I didn't really read into the lore, honestly. I just was like, oh, this game looks cool. Look at the cart, look at the mechanics. Oh, this looks pretty cool. The fact that you play at the same time, I really dig. Ooh, actually, this is quite interesting to me. I did not see this. It's kind of a breakdown of card like development. So, you know, when it first starts out, like, this is how they do it. I know this is how they do it for Magic the Gathering, too. Like, playtest cards. And you can kind of see how it is evolving over time. Very nice. And, like, here's, like, the final iteration, which looks quite good. I mean, even compared to the one before it, this final one looks excellent. And here's a bit about Salt Ring Games and their creator, as well as some links to Board Game Geek, Discord, Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, some challenges. I do know that this game just straight up will not exist without backing. It's one of those kind of things where, I mean, like, it needs supporters to actually even get made, and you know, that makes a lot of sense. They don't have like a big corporation behind them. They don't have a lot of funding. You know, it's just an indie thing. It truly is, and I really like supporting stuff like that. You know, like, this is the cost of like a couple pizzas. You know, this is like when I'm pledging personally like $60. That's like what, 2 pizzas here in Portland, Oregon. Like, pizza's like what, $30? Like, I can just not eat the pizza. I can just eat a sandwich for 2 nights, you know? But anyway, that's not the point. The point is I think this game is really cool. I think it's very interesting. I think the mechanics are very unique, and I think that a lot of you will really like it, and especially because it's kind of like got this board game aspect. You know, you just buy it and you have it. You don't have to buy anything extra. You just have all the things. If expansions come out later, you can buy the expansions, but you don't really need to have the expansions. And it could just be something that you pick up and play every now and then. Like I said, maybe eat between D&D sessions, or between Commander games, or if you just have some friends over, if you wanted to do like the 2v2 version or something like that. Anyway, that was my card game spotlight for Ambal Tournament Foundation. If you liked the video, then leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell for more card game videos, or check out my Patreon if you want to support the channel. Let me know what you thought of the video down below, and definitely check out Ambal Tournament's Kickstarter if you think it is interesting. Regardless of what you do, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time for some more card game content. I'll see you later.